I realized that divine love is when you love from a place of acceptance of the essence of your very being, which is spiritual. When you love from a spiritual place, that is true love. That is divine love. And from a spiritual place is understanding that you are a spiritual being. What that means, meaning that you are a reflection of God, a reflection of the eternal, a reflection of the infinite, a reflection of the reality of God, a reflection of the reality that all is divine, all is in order, all is God. And so when you understand that and you get into relationships or in situations or in just living your life, when you live from that aspect, you don't cling, you don't attach. And so when you don't cling and attach to things, you don't hold these expectations at all. You really don't have any expectations of it. You strive to be able to listen and hear from God in regards to what's happening in life. And so you're just kind of living from that aspect, and you're living as an observer. You're just kind of living life, and you're appreciating every moment, and you're appreciating everything that is and for what it is. And even when things are not necessarily a vibrational match to you, you don't take it personally. You don't necessarily need validation from anything outside yourself, outside of God. So when all of that is taken away, when the necessity for validation, when the necessity for something or someone to provide security for you, when your security comes from understanding and knowing the reality of God, then you can be easy about life. You can rest and allow relationships to unfold as they are without the necessity to control them or expect anything from them, and just let it be. But that divine love, when you have that acceptance and that allowance, it comes with a level of courage and detachment that many of us, Grand Rising, that many of us are afraid of. If I detach and I practice this divine love, won't I get, what if people try to take advantage of that? Or, if I detach, then I can't protect myself. Or if I just allow things to be as they are and accept, doesn't that make it where I'm allowing anything to happen to my life? Of course not. Of course not. When you are detached and you're living as an observer of life, following the guidance of spirit, you think spirit gonna keep you in a situation where it's gonna be tough for you? No. You think spirit is gonna keep you in a situation where you're getting abused or anything like that? Absolutely not. And then when you're living in that love, when you're living with the acceptance of the reality of God and the reality of grace, then you are easily able to let things go. You're easily able to allow relationships to unfold however they unfold, whether that's to grow, to grow and, have this stability that sustains. Give thanks. We give thanks for those lasting and those relationships that sustain. But you allow it to unfold even if it separates, and you don't take it personally. Divine love makes it where all that taking it personally and all that pain that comes with the idea of love that we have, it just dismantles. It dissolves, It just does. It's so, give thanks to the Almighty for understanding, man. For the lack of knowledge, man, perish. We perish, I tell you. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. We perish, and it doesn't have to be. Peace, y'all. So for me, greetings. For me, as I began to understand divine love versus this carnal or animalistic, man-like, and I'm not calling it bad. Give thanks. I give thanks for that carnal love too, because carnal loves feel good. It feel great. And I welcome it all. But the balance, understanding what that is, not attaching to that, not seeing that as you, not seeing that as, what true love, God-like love is. That's not what it is. So I give thanks. Don't get me wrong. I talk my spirit talk, and I'm not apologetic about it. But I'm human, y'all. So, I'm a spiritual being having a very beautiful human experience. So I appreciate the beauty in the carnal. But I understand what is truth. I understand what is absolute. I understand what is. You know what I mean? All the other stuff is just, it's like it comes and go. And so I enjoyed fairy tales when I was younger. I enjoy dreaming. I enjoy imagining. I enjoy the euphoria of living in a dream. But that what is true, which is true, that's the foundation. My foundation is not built on dreams and things that come and go. And I think that's where the problem lies when it comes to love. We have marriages has foundation on dreams. We have long-term relationships founded on dreams, founded on things that come and go, founded on feelings, founded on things that are not eternal. So, that divine love helps you to love your mama, your husband, your wife, your girl, your king, your queen, your children. It has you loving all of that unconditionally, because it allows you to accept and allow things as they are, because you trust in God, not in this thing you call love in regards to the person. You trust in what's absolute, the reality of God. You trust that as you have that relationship with that person and you do the things that God leads you to do in association with that relationship, you trust that you're safe. And so you can be in that relationship without feeling like you have to control it or expect anything. And so then, the hurt and the pain and all of those, all of the stuff that comes with, love relationships, it goes away. And so now you welcome it. When you have that divine love, you can welcome love, and just trust that. And you're also welcoming love in a different kind of way. You're welcoming it from guidance of spirit. You ain't just jumping into anything because somebody said something nice or you felt something good. Nah, you're like, okay, once you get that understanding of who you really are, you're a little bit more careful and intentional with your movements and with who you associate yourself with. And so the love is going to follow. The love is going to follow. But yeah, that is my experience with love. Lastly, I want to say that once I understood divine love, guess what? I had to work on loving myself, because I realized I didn't really love myself. I didn't really accept and allow myself to be who I am. I was too busy worrying about what other people thought about me, and was I right? Was I wrong? Was I good? Was I bad? Was I smart? Was I cute? I was too busy worrying about being good. It's a part of my personality. It's a part of my, my natal chart, where I'm real concerned about my ethics and my character and my health and my, it's a big concern of mine. Am I doing it right? Am I, professionalism could be not downside, a struggle for me if I don't, keep balance, if I don't keep a level head. I could go into perfectionism or, over analyzing and all of that. So I had to work on loving myself. What? I can't love you if I don't love myself. I can't. I had to work on loving myself. And that is when I truly, that's when it went from intellectual knowledge of divine love to a understanding of love from the inside. when I had to really do the work to love and accept myself. Truly, like, man, I remember asking myself, okay, so when you love somebody, that means you feel like you love them because you trust them, because they make you feel secure, they make you feel adored. So I had to ask myself, do do you do you trust yourself like that? And the answer was no at that time. No, I don't trust myself, because I'd be disappointing myself. And then I had to ask myself, do you feel secure with yourself? Like, nah, because I don't really trust myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really trust that I am, I know enough, that I'm strong enough, that I'm wise enough, that I don't really trust that. And so I'm like, dang, like, man. And so it's like, what's another, I had to think about, like, who do you say you love? And I thought about my son and how I feel like I love my son. Like, okay, why do you feel like that's love? I'm like, because no matter what, I always care about how he feels. And I always care about if he's okay. And I always care about, that type of thing. And then I had to ask myself, well, do you love yourself like that? Bruh. I was like, what the hell? I don't love myself. It was some deep work. It was some purging happened. I was like, oh man. So I really had to do the work, and still doing the work, giving thanks. I definitely have come a long way, a long way from when I, from that time. Cause, and really the work, do the work. The work was really doing that self-reflection, doing that self-examination, gaining understanding, changing my perception about things, and then disciplining myself to trust myself. One of the main things I had to discipline myself with is trusting myself. And I had to think, all right, how did trust build in previous relationships? Like, these are questions I had to sit and ask myself. How did I start to trust the people who I trust in my life now? What did they do, or what happened that made me say, well, I can trust them? And so I had to give them a chance. I had to give it time. It took time. I had to, the biggest thing is give it a chance, And so I had to start giving my intuition a chance. I had to start giving my feelings, giving myself a chance. Stop doubting myself. Stop, just go with it. What does self say? Do it. It's like self is ready for that. Do it. Self is like, just do it and see. See. And so a lot came from that, trusting my intuition, and that unfolded into so many beautiful things. And then, that patience with myself, that unfolded into beautiful things. And, all of that work has to happen with yourself. We don't do that work. I'm going to just be honest. Like, when does that work happen? But when you start getting tired of being sick and tired, and then that work start to prayerfully happen. And it's by the grace of God, really, because sometimes it don't happen. And, we end up in relationships and situations that kind of hold us hostage in life. And we end up not really growing within ourselves and having time to sit and reflect. And, we're just caught up in the whirlwind of life. And, it's like, so you don't. And so then in the meantime, while you're caught up in the whirlwind of life, you're not having this time to self-reflect. You're not having this time to see, do I really trust myself? Do I really love myself? What is love? Do I really accept and allow myself to be as I am? Or do I punish myself? Or do I feel guilty all the time? Do I feel resentful all the time? Am I filled up with worry? That meaning I don't trust myself. I don't trust life. I don't trust it. How can you love? How can you love? What the hell are we called?